So, this is the 2020 Mercedes AMG GT63S. Now, the first time I saw one of these things was when I was in Spain with my wife and we were on vacation. And we had an M850i at the time, which was pretty hot because it was brand new. And then this guy in a black GT63 rolls up next to us and kind of steals all the limelight. So ever since that, I was pretty butthurt and kind of refused to acknowledge these four-door AMG GTs as real sports cars. But recently I had a fan who gave me the opportunity to drive his, and let me tell you, I've been missing out. Anyway, this car sits really high up in the AMG totem pole, obviously in terms of price, but I actually think it sits right on top in terms of power. You know, we might actually be one of the most powerful production cars that AMG's got going on at the moment. We're talking about 630 brake horsepower and 664 pounds of torque, all from a 4-liter twin-turbo V8. That's almost 30 more horses than the next best thing, which is the S63 at 603, and over 50 more than the two-door AMG GTR. But there's a catch though. This thing is extraordinarily heavy. I mean, we're talking about a super fat sports sedan that's supposed to compete with the likes of the Porsche Panamera or the BMW M5. So the manufacturer curb weight is around 4,500 pounds. That puts the power to weight at 7.1 to 1. So on paper, not that fast. But word on the street is that with the 4MATIC all-wheel drive and that criminal amount of torque, it might as well be a street-legal missile. But before I get too excited about this thing, let's run it down on runway to see what it can really do.
And what that means is that we're going to do a full standing half-mile acceleration test for our fast list. As always, our tests are done on real pavement with normal tire prep to simulate real-world conditions as you would find on the street. Today's a relatively cool day in the high 60s, but because of the all-wheel drive, I think we're going to get some pretty good times regardless. Let's do this. Now let's do one more run straight through. Dang, what a machine. Having a four-door sedan launch off the line like that is always a little scary, and it looked quick crossing the finish, but let's take a look at what our V-Box has to say. We'll start with our own 40 to 100. The GT63S did it in 5.41 seconds, and that's impressive considering it's a little quicker than its closest would-be competitor on the list, the Audi RS6 Performance. Otherwise, it could keep up with some pretty fast cars like a Hellcat or maybe even a poorly driven Huracan. 60 to 130 is where magic happens, and the AMG did that in 8.61. I was hoping for a little quicker, but it'll still walk away from a previous gen RS6. This also makes it the fastest stock four-door car that we've tested so far, capable of beating entry-level supercars. Now, the half mile has become my personal favorite, and it's all about trap speed. The Mercedes crossed it at a little over 152, which is almost as fast as its lighter and sportier cousin, the AMG GTR. That might make for a pretty good race at some point. But yeah, anything over 150 here is a beast. Let's take a look at the 0 to 60. Useless in real racing, but it's important to note that this car tied for the quickest on our list right now with the P100D at 3.32. Remember, there's no 1-foot rollout, so if you want to stroke egos, that would be a 3.1 second time with that measurement involved. The 0 to 100 also doesn't include the rollout, but it ran a supercar slaying 7.45 second time. Knock off 2 to 3 tenths if you want to compare it with the rollout. The all-wheel drive advantage continues in the standing quarter mile where it ran an 11.1 at over 126. On top of that, it cut a 1.660 foot. That's just gnarly. Honestly, I don't think there are going to be many stock cars that can go toe-to-toe with this thing on the street, short of maybe a Tesla P100D. Anyway, if you want to see more times or compare it to other cars, check out the fast list in the description below.
So with the exception of a tuned M5 comp, this is easily the fastest four-door sedan I've driven to date, and it's quite a lot of car really. Obviously not just in terms of power or price, but the interior is just straight luscious as well. It's like the perfect blend of an AMG GT and an S-Class, and I really enjoy it, especially with the brown leather. So far I've driven 3 of these Mercedes with the active lumbar support, and for some reason this one feels the most dramatic when it comes to the pressure in the side bolsters. It might be something psychological, or maybe I just hit the corners harder in this AMG than the other ones I've driven. If it's actually something unique to this car, then let me know, but as far as I'm concerned, they all kind of share the same technology. But anyway, we can't talk about this car without really circling back to the price point. The base GT63 starts at 140 grand, and that's if you're okay with the very plebeian 577 brake horsepower. But if you want this monster-slaying 630 horsepower S trim, it starts at 161. And I think this particular car is optioned out to maybe 180 or 190. Now, that's a lot of money for a four-door sedan, even if you consider all the amazing tech and power. You can get similar performance from something like an M5 competition or even an Audi RS7 for about 50 grand less. But they won't feel as luxurious on the inside. The RS7 might if you option it a certain way, but frankly, M5s are a dime a dozen nowadays. So having a GT63 feels a little bit more special. Another cool alternative might be the new M760 Li because it's got a V12, and that's honestly a pretty cool flex, but I still prefer the interior on the Mercedes, and if you think about all the bells and whistles on the AMG, it's a bargain when you compare it to something like a Porsche Panamera Turbo S, and when I mean bells and whistles, I mean this. So it turns out that it's really a much tougher segment up there than I had originally imagined. While many of us don't normally shop for $200,000 super sedans that can do a sub 3 seconds 0 to 60 time, it's nice to know that they exist now. If you find yourself in a situation where you need something like that, the GT63 should be pretty high up there on your radar. It's got an awesome interior, awesome performance, makes awesome exhaust noises, and it's just overall an awesome car. Well, that's it for this review, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Hey guys, if you like this video, help a brother out by giving it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or if I said something weird, let me know in the comments below. You can also support the channel by sharing our stuff or maybe shop in the merch store. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to check out some of my other stuff. I produce all sorts of cool cinematic car content, so if that's your jam, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon for new episodes every week. Thanks for watching.